Hey guys, Mark Farash with ProTech again. We're working Rocky through this. So now I've got a feel for him replying and communicating through the collar with his compliance towards coming back to me, doing the three-way turnoff. We've got a good one going to the table, going away from me, coming towards me, and we're going to start into the downs. But we're going to start adding one little type of a sliver in this where we're going to start actually letting him have a chance to beat it, and we're going to be doing tap, tap versus that constant that we started with on a very low stem. And we'll start doing tap, tap, and the tap, tap might be a step up from the lowest. Right now he's on a 3, believe it or not. We started with a 4. He right away felt it. I dropped it to a 3 because I felt that I wanted to make it easier on the dog and less hectic for him so that he could work his way through it, and he did great. So he's on his way towards fluency with the collar, and this is what we're after. So I'm going to start kind of asking him to do something, letting him have the chance to beat that stimulation. If he doesn't, I'm going to go tap, tap to remind him he's supposed to be doing it, and I might end up increasing my my stimulation threshold by 1 or 2 clicks to make it a little bit more uncomfortable. I shouldn't say more because the level he's on now is just so minor it's not even funny, but I'll bring it up to maybe a 5 or a 6 at some point as we work through this to remind him he's got to work whether he likes it or not. And that's the next transition of conveying the thought that he understands this collar. It's less stressful to him now because he understands the rules. That's the whole thing, the reason that you need to set up that baseboard of communication. Very important. Once we've got that baseboard of communication, we can start taking this further. It doesn't mean that we're going to turn it up to high levels. It just means we're going to make it mildly uncomfortable where he wants to comply, and we can get through some of that fog depending on the distraction level. If I had a squirrel come out here right now, or worse yet, these horses that he's so into, and he wanted to go after those horses, it would be very hard for me to stop him from doing that without going to a level that he's going to really respect. I don't want to do that. I want to have enough of a fluency, enough of a baseboard, really good communication, keep everything as positive as possible, and I won't challenge him in those sort of things until later on down the way where he really has a good fluency with a collar and everything's been really positive and upbeat and he feels really good with it. Then I can bring it as a correction for him and get some use out of it because the dog's going to be clear in the head and regards to what this stimulation is. It's going to shock him. It's going to say, wait a minute, shock him in the respect of saying, what's going on here? Because I bring it up to a higher level, but then I'm going to reaffirm that that's the right answer to him by giving him his praise, give him his rewards, and he'll work his way through it. And you'll have a lot less of that disobedient type of thing based on stimulation in his environment. Things that make him more distracted, a squirrel, a rabbit. I mean, that's why bird dog trainers use these things, because when you get to those drive states, the dog will shut you down and won't feel a dang thing, and you need to have a tool that's going to be able to get through and cut through that fog of his drives, wanting to go after things and wanting to have something else that he's more interested in. And that's one of the reasons these collars are so good, because you can cut through that fog. But it's real important to have that baseboard of communication and a good established set of fluency within the animal's understanding, so he understands what this tool is all about before you do that. You can't just go slap it on the dog, like I told you earlier, and zapping the hell out of him. It doesn't work that way. Then that attitude that I was trying to tell you in the beginning of my beginning films of making sure that you're aware of how to condition an animal, having a dog have a good communication baseboard, have his markers set in, yes, no, good, his good marker, duration marker, all these markers that you hear me talking about when I'm working the animals. Very important that you have the dog set up that way, because it's going to cut through his confusion. You have something to be able to use with him that he already understands, and he can find out that is the right answer. Yes, this is all the same thing that I'm already used to. We're just adding one more layer in by layering in the collar. Okay, and remember, I don't know if I've talked about that before. That's what we do. We always layer in things, slow but sure. We're steadily layering in different behaviors, layering in the next thing, and then the next thing, and we're building the dog. We're building this house to a complete product. So we'll do that, and we'll get you some film watching this dog work to a higher caliber once I get this collar really going for him. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll get more out of it as we go along. I'll talk to you guys later, and have a good day. Bye-bye.